Hey, hi, hello. It is Monday night, and I am going into Love is Blind Season 5, Episode 5. Now, I know you guys, if you are up to date, you are, I think, finished. Like, you either just got your finale or you just got your reunion show, but that's not where I'm at. Cold weather has finally hit southern Louisiana, so it's snuggly and it's sweater weather for real, and that's exciting. This weekend I had a visit with my parents and some other things going on. I really wanted to get into this, like at least an episode a day, because I know I'm behind, and I'm so grateful for you guys who are patient and still having this conversation with me because I love it. Um, and I have my warm drink, and I am ready to hit up episode 5. I think where we left off, um, Uche had been stood up. Like he went in to talk to Aaliyah, and she was like, "Peace out." And I was just so happy, and I'm really hoping that she gets the clarity she needs to keep on traveling in a direction away from him. But I don't know. We shall see. Let's go. So it opens with Uche leaving the pod when he just found out that Aaliyah left, and we are sitting down, and it's a very, like, it's the last four standing, I guess. At this point, people are kind of gone, right? Because they have limited time. So it's like Milton, Uche, JP, and Izzy. And, at first, Izzy seems like he's kind of thinking, like, there are other humans on the planet. And he's like, maybe she got cold feet. Maybe it was too much. Maybe she couldn't tell you no because it was hard for me to tell Johnny no. And Uche just is not having it. He's like, oh, I don't know. She saw Lydia get engaged. Like, as if so. Like, even if she was there, so. Like, and at this point, Milton's face is kind of like, ugh. Because now Uche's going to tell them that he dated Lydia, and Milton does not look impressed. And he's like, look, we talked about it. We got, and Uche talks over him and is like, doesn't matter. Like, what are you talking about? Things matter, even if they're not about you, Uche, believe it or not. So it's kind of weird. And then Izzy immediately goes like, well, that's messed up. She should have given you closure. Like, look, nobody owes you anything. You're a fully grown man. Act like it, right? I don't know. It all just seems a little messy, but we're about to get an interview with Uche. As a side note to everything that's going on, real quick, because we are heading into like a floating head interview with Uche, right? When he is having a conversation with the guys, he doesn't seem so much hurt as he does like he's calculating. And at one point he says, I am missing something. Like he is clinically going over and he's trying to figure out where he miscalculated, right? And it feels to me like it's not so much that she left him and he's hurt as it is that she left him and it should have been the other way around. Like, I think that if it was going to end, he envisioned him breaking her, him breaking her down like he did over the cheating thing, him annihilating her, and then walking away while she was like a little pile of rubble. And so when you are looking, and I look, again, these are one-dimensional characters that we're getting from through a TV screen, and humans are multidimensional. But when you see his eyes calculating like that, when I see his eyes calculating like that, all I can think is he is so furious. He's furious. And I think that he's probably even in his mind, oh, that's my tea. Hold on, let me go get it. I think that in his mind, he's calculating out a couple of things. And one of them is like, he's pissed that after he had the upper hand, he let it go again a little while ago. And probably also thinking, I could have made myself look so much better if I would have picked Lydia because she was all about me and I knew how to play that game. And maybe I'm reading too much into it. I am hoping that by the time they see each other again at like the first mingle where the whole cast comes together, she has had enough distance to really wrap her head around this. And I worry if they wind up in a sit down together beforehand, if he will be able to like mush her up into a ball. Because I'm so proud of her for walking away, honestly. You guys, I'm so mad right now. It hasn't even unfolded. It has not even unfolded. I'm so mad though. So he's in his floating head and he's talking about like, so she just left. Yes. So no contact. Yes. And I just can't believe it. We were telling each other we love each other and all this other stuff, right? Like I just can't believe it. She expressed no doubt, which I don't think is true. She was kind of like, yeah, Uche, you are the one I want, but this is messy and it's so messy. And I mean, you could hear her sighing and the heaviness and the tears. Like, it wasn't like she was like, oh yeah, I can't wait. This is exciting. I'm so on board still. That is not what she was projecting the way he's saying. And I am livid in this moment because it has not happened yet, but they just called her. And this is just a reminder to anybody who goes on a reality TV show, production is not your friend. It is their job to make you feel comfortable. It is their job to get you to feel good enough to talk to them. It is their job. But you are money. You're a dollar sign. They are not your friend. Because a friend would not have offered to call her and put them together in a conversation. In fact, the girl who's speaking says, do you want so-and-so to call her? Like, do you want us to reach out or do you want to do it on your own? You can just leave and do it on your own. And of course, Uche doesn't want to do it on his own because he doesn't want to have a conversation with her to try to figure it out and fix it and be kind. What he wants is to annihilate her like he did over the cheating on camera. I can almost guarantee, and I am livid about it, that we are about to watch him annihilate Aaliyah. And I am furious. And I feel like I feel like this season, I feel like the theme of it is I was not ready. Because I keep feeling like I am not ready for this. Because I'm pissed. I am so mad. She did something she felt like she needed to do, and they are undoing it. And I am afraid for her because I think he's going to stir her up, smash her up, and his goal is to be the one who wins. And it probably in his mind, that's going to like look better. But the reality is like, you're not going to look good on camera doing this to her. But okay, let's go see how this, let's go. Okay. Wait, it's still playing. We're in the conversation right now, but there's just too much happening and we need to talk about this. First of all, so apparently she's saying that there was some kind of exchange with Lydia. Okay. But he is not feeling at all like he's not trying to be compassionate for her at all in this moment. He is pissed and he is speaking down and being ugly and kind of aggressive with his words towards her because she is already sobbing and broken. First of all, he says, some girl. You're going to let what some girl said? No, not some girl. Your ex-girlfriend who you lied by omission about, who you slept with 2-3 months ago, your ex-girlfriend, not some girl. 1. 2, he says, she's saying like, things change and he's like ripping her into her. And then she says like, that, this is hard and things change. And he's like, well, that's what this whole experience is about. No, it's not. This whole experience is to see if you can love the person you fell in love with, even though you might not be physically attracted to him. Is love blind? It's not. Is love blind and continually unaware of red flags? Like, bro, no. She's saying, like, it would be different if we weren't in this environment. You would be my husband. He's saying, no. If you can't even be around my ex-girlfriend, if you can't take the heat, then I would never have gotten to that point with you. I would never have. I knew I was going to give myself to the wrong person. I knew it. And then he's like, I don't want to talk to her anymore. I'm done. And this was my point. He just wanted to be the one with the last word. He's a lawyer. It's in his blood. He wants to make his point and slam the door. This is gross. I am mad. I'm mad. I'm so mad. I don't even want to press play. I'm going to press play, but I don't want to press play. I'm mad and I don't like it. And this is gross. But Aaliyah does say, um, what if she saw an email on your computer and chose to be there because of you? And it makes me wonder if there's more to that, because that's such like a specific, ooh, sorry guys. That is such a specific, like, I don't know. Like, I have a pretty wild imagination and I connect dots, but the idea of her being like, I don't know, there's just, it seems so specific. What if she was at your house, your computer was open, she checked your email, she knew you'd be on the that's just a lot of like conjecture to follow, and Aaliyah doesn't seem like that kind of like outlandish thinker. She seems pretty well grounded. So it makes me wonder if Lydia said something or implied something, or there was some sort of conversation that like needled Aaliyah and made her start thinking like, wait, this is all orchestrated. So just a side note, because he's still frozen on my screen. The way that he is speaking to her is so like ugly. Is he saying curse words? No. But she's not even in the room. And he is like kind of holding the phone and like over it and like really, I want to say like the word like throwing his words at her. Like if when they say if looks could kill, he is really going in. And I'm not nothing about this. I am not saying that he is a violent person, because there's nothing here to say that. And I don't believe that. I think that he's definitely used to like being one of the smarter people in the group and being able to like take people down a notch. And he is like aggressively condescending the way he speaks, if that makes sense. And I do want to respect the fact that I am talking about a male who is a black man, and I am not trying to label him as aggressive in like a physical, violent way. But he is absolutely getting like aggressive with his condescending way that he is speaking to her. And I think that this is indicative of something he is used to doing. I feel like if you are this comfortable speaking this way in this environment, when she is bringing up that we are in a weird environment, it's not like they have forgotten the cameras are there. It's not like they're having a conversation that, is more natural. It is, you are sitting with interview lights beating on you, cameras everywhere. She is talking about what an awkward, strange situation this is. So he is very well aware of the environment he's in. And the way that he is like leaning in and like getting, like digging with his words as if he could like I said, like they say, if looks could kill. It's like he is beating her down with his words. And it is the same attitude that happened when she told him she had cheated. He sat up on the sofa and like was digging in. And I just, in person, a female will feel threatened by that. It is an overwhelming feeling that will make you be quiet. It will make you stop arguing. It will make you shut up in a lot of instances. And we saw it with Aaliyah. She wasn't even in the room with him, but she could feel it when he was like going and going and going. And finally she was like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm just a terrible person who cheated. And, maybe, that was a horrible thing. And it wasn't about sparing somebody else's, like she gave in to what he wanted her to feel and think because of the way, the conviction and the like, that he went in on. And he is doing it again. And that's not okay. He needs to be with somebody who he wouldn't treat that way, and she deserves to be with somebody who would never treat her that way, in my opinion. Okay. We are transitioning to Lydia and Milton about to meet, and it feels weird to just go from that scene to this scene, like as if it wasn't already a roller coaster of me feeling I'm so glad I didn't watch these episodes back to back, because I was so excited that Aaliyah left. And now I feel just like, oh gosh, I'm just beside myself. I'm so mad that like production set her up for that. and that he got to have that moment at her expense. That's just gross, because I do not think that she was trying to burn him or she was trying to have a moment at his expense, and it just upsets me. So I'm going to try to clear my head now and go into this Lydia meets Milton moment. Personally, as far as these two people go, just letting you know my opinion on them, physically, I think they could be a very good match. Like, I think that Milton is a cute guy. I think he's an attractive, cute guy. He seems kind of tall when he's like on the couch with the other guys. And I think he even made a comment about being tall. And I think that Lydia is a cute girl. She's not unattractive. I am a big person on like my vibe with you. Like, you can be hot, and if I don't dig your vibe, you are not attractive at all. And for me, Lydia kind of could have gone either way. She could have been really cute and very attractive, but I did not like the way she was treating Aaliyah. I did not like how she treated Milton. I don't think I care for her character on this show. I don't know. So I don't know. But I think that he'll be attracted to her. She's not ugly. She's a cute girl with a cute figure. I think that I think he'll be attracted to her. I don't know. I don't know if she's going to be attracted to Milton. I mean, he's a cute guy, but I don't know, because I think she might go along with it. I think she'll go along with it. I think she'll be very excited in this moment, but I think in the long run, kind of like JP and Taylor. Taylor was like, "You're so cute," and I'm so into it, but she wasn't. And I feel like Lydia might go along with it and not really mean it, because I think that for her, this show is about something else. But we'll see. I could be wrong. Yeah, he's very tall, and I don't know if she's like average height or like I'm 5'3", so like I don't know like if she's my height or if she's average height. I'm not even particularly sure what average height is, but he's really tall, and yeah, she's like, he's cute, you're cute, he's like, you're pretty. Like they seem well vibed. I can't get a read on her. I'm not sure she's really feeling him. In this, I think she's feeling him in this moment, but I don't know if that's going to actually carry over to real life, or if that's just this moment that's been cultivated by being completely cut off from the entire outside world, right? I actually think that it's a shame that I have a feeling she's not going to be into this, because I think that they look really cute together. I think that they kiss well. They seem like they have a good, like they kissed a lot, and it seemed perfectly fine. Like, it seemed like they matched each other's energy well. There's a scene where, like, when they sit down together, she is sitting down and he's wrapped around her, and she fits like really well. I think it's a shame that I really don't see this working out, because I don't think she's going to be into it. On a side note, real quick, I don't think there's anything wrong with like the age difference so much. I think you can have a mature 24-year-old, because I think she's 30 and he said she's 6, almost 7 years older than him. But like, that's so young. Now, I am not 30. I am 42 years old, and I have kids who are just literally a couple of years younger than Milton. And so for me, thinking about like them dating, like, I don't know, like I mean, again, I'm older than she is, but like when I see people their age, my brain is like, they're such a baby, they're so young. Even if you are mature and like together, you're still so young. I don't think she's really into him. I think she would have 100% in that moment when she said to Uche, "What if this is a sign? Should we be together? Maybe we need to give it a go." And if he would have said yes, she would have locked in. Then she definitely wanted Izzy. And I think Milton is like a third backup plan to stick around. Excuse me. So I don't know. I don't know. I think last time we talked about it, I said Milton didn't seem that into it. So I'm hoping that that's true because I don't want him to get his little heart broken because he's like my child's age. So Vanessa and obviously Nick come on and tell us that we have 3 couples. And I'm wondering, is this like the lowest matches that we have? It's interesting because in seasons past, I'm so sorry. In seasons past, we have seen that like we found out afterwards that there were couples that weren't shown. So like we might get like what 4 or 5 couples, and then we find out that there were other couples that were cut, which is okay. But it's interesting because we're only getting 3 here, and so this is completely just making it up in my brain. I'm wondering if that means that we are still going to follow Uche and Aaliyah in some way, shape, or form. Because that would give us 4. But still, it seems strange because they were probably other couples that have gotten cut. Now, again, I am not Googling anything because I am so far behind and I am doing my damnedest to avoid spoilers so that we can have an honest conversation. But I just am confused by the low number that we're following, unless I think we're gonna okay. This is my anticipation. Ready? I think that Johnny's gonna come around and we're gonna have some drama with that. I think that Uche and Aaliyah are going to be there in some way, shape, or form. So I'm wondering if maybe they felt like with these 3 couples and all of the drama we're going to stir up when we start putting them in the same spaces, we have enough, right? I mean, because they've already filmed all this when they're editing. It's just an interesting choice. So we have 3 couples going out into the world to their honeymoon-ish phase. It's not really their honeymoon because they're not married yet, but you know, like they get to go on their little vacation. And that is JP and Taylor. Taylor's just not into you. That is Milton and Lydia. Lydia's just not into you. And then that is Izzy and Stacy, who I personally feel like Stacy might deserve better, but we shall see. I don't have a particularly great feeling about any of these couples, which is strange. There's always at least one. There's always at least one that I'm either like, this is a great couple, 1 or 2, or I'm like, I hope they can get out of their way because they could be a great couple. And this is just, we have a mess this season. Yeah, we're in Cancun, Mexico, and it's not good for JP, and I wonder if he's completely clueless or if he thinks that it's just the situation. But she's not into it. And in the conversation, she's like kind of trying to lead him. Like she's like, I overthought it. I was just so upset. Like, what if I wasn't what he thought I was going to be? What if he wasn't into me? But he doesn't respond by being like, of course I'm into you. Were you into me? Or, of course you were what I thought of. Or you're better than I could have imagined. Was I what you thought? Like, he's not feeding back those questions. And I don't think he's doing it to avoid it on purpose, but I think she's trying to lead him to that conversation. But she does not. She's not. And then he gives her a kiss and she's like, stinky breath. I'm probably got bad breath too, but like, oh God. And it makes me like oh God, like y'all. First of all, I personally think that they could be a cute couple. That I do not think that she's like out of his league or that he is unattractive. I find them like very well. Sorry, fuzzy wild hairs. But anyway, I find them very well matched. But this does not seem like it's going well. And she seems on edge. Is that a good word? Like she's trying to be chill and nice, but it doesn't feel good. And I hope that they can just have an honest conversation and that they don't torture each other for 4 weeks. Oh God. I don't even know, because he seems kind of like I said, a little bit oblivious, and I can't tell if he's actually clueless or if it's just that he's giving her leeway for the situation. I don't know. Okay, we just got an Izzy and Stacy in Cancun, and I don't care for Izzy, but I'm gonna let that go. Right here, right now, I'm gonna attempt to let that go, right? And I'm going to attempt to just let them be and to believe this, because for this moment, it seems believable. They're wrapped up in each other, laying together in Cancun. They're kissing. They seem physically connected. They're touching a lot. And what I mean by is like there are multiple points of contact. They seem very into each other. The way that they look at each other's eyes and at each other when they're talking, they seem very into each other. I thought that he would be very physically attracted to her, and I didn't expect her to reject him. He is not an unattractive man. This is a couple who I could totally see, like you would see them as well matched if you saw them working out at the gym together, or, walking their dog at the park or something. They look like they go well together. So I think it's a good physical matchup. And she is saying things that has me going, oh, Stacy, like you probably could have done better than that poem you did, because she's talking about how her heart hiccups like when she sees him, and she's just so into it. And I love this for her. Like, I love her having love, and I love her being in touch with her feelings, and I love her accessing this part of herself. I just worry about who she's doing it with, but I told you guys I was going to give them a chance. So here it is, me stepping back. I'm going to take things at face value for now, and we shall see what happens in the future. I don't know. It's a cluster. So Milton and Lydia, it's weird, okay? Because they are physically connecting. They're kissing and touching. Lydia is so many people when she gets excited about the possibility of picking ingrown hairs with tweezers. Like, her face is like, yeah. But she does mention that he looks very young, and that she can see the 24 all over him. And I'm like, yeah, girl. Yeah. So in that respect, I can understand, like, if you can't make the physical jump because the person looks like a child to you. Like, that's what I was saying earlier. So just saying. But it's weird because they are physically connecting. They're kissing and they're touching. But there's also a bit of teasing. And look, I tease the hell out of my wife, and she will tease me too. And there is that, like, banter that will happen, but it just seems very early to have so much of it, because some of it doesn't feel playful, if that makes sense. And we've seen other couples kind of have that. I can't think of their names right now. I'll try, but like in other seasons where it's almost like, ooh, that joke hit a little close to home. That didn't feel funny, and maybe we don't know each other well enough to get married, or I don't know, joke with each other in that way. Just saying, right? Like, so, because really, I feel like Amber and I can tease each other about pretty much anything. And if somebody else heard some of the stuff that I would say to her, they would be like, oh my God, that's terrible. But I know her sense of humor, she knows mine, and so it's okay. But it was a process to get there. We've been together almost, well, like 18 years. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It feels like even though they are physically connecting, there is something off. And I think it's on the Lydia side, but I could be, we'll see. It's JP and Taylor. I'm like, my brain was trying to process it. They were in the like big, like the hot tub together, and it feels like she's trying to have a deeper conversation and he's not having it. So she's like, we can pretend there's a wall. We can, which I think this is like two-sided. Like, she's worried that the connection that got her to this point isn't there in person. But I think the other side of that, which is a legitimate concern, but I think the other side of that is that, like, you can't always be having the deepest conversations, and you'll just had 10 days of this intensive, like, pouring yourself out to each other. So I think he's like, well, we're having like a lighter conversation. He's making like little jokes, and she's like trying to like, she's still talking about how awkward it is, how uncomfortable, how everything else. And then their physical connection, even though I didn't think they had the worst kisses when they met, is very awkward. It feels like they don't time their kisses. Like, she's maybe going for like a softer, more intimate kiss, and he's just like pecking at her. it just doesn't, like, it does not flow like the other two couples look like they're flowing right now. And it feels so uncomfortable because I'm like, I don't understand how he isn't, like, on the surface, it seems like he's not reading it, unless maybe he is, and it's like piling up. Like, we might get like a real weird, bad conversation when they get home or something. I don't know. This does not feel good. Y'all, we just got a shower scene with Milton and Lydia, and I still don't think it's a great idea, but there's definitely some sexual vibing there. That was interesting. And then Stacy and Izzy, who I'm glad I gave the pass to, because I don't want to be mad the whole time. They are they look steamy. Like, they were in their bathing suits still, but they look steamy. And I do want to say, like, in all of these shows that you see, obviously you want to move at like a pace where you're comfortable. But I think the couples who allow that connection to flow up front generally have a better ride. But I guess, like, I knew that both of those couples seemed like physically into each other, but I was not expecting all of that all so soon. Oh my God. Y'all, I love Stacy, and God, I don't hope I change my mind. But and she's making me like Izzy, just cause. But yeah, okay, so apparently there's been some physical intimacy. We did have a comment where, like, basically JP and Taylor, who are doomed to fail, and oh God, I feel like such an a-hole saying that, but that's how it feels. They are trying to talk again, and Taylor's like, what did you notice about me? And he's like, your eyes with those gaudy eyelashes. And it's like, JP, you're not helping us out, man. Not at all, right? But apparently there was some physical intimacy between the other two couples, and that is awesome, I guess. I'm scared now because Milton looks like he's really into Lydia. And even though Lydia in this episode seems very into Milton, I do have to point out that there is no Uche or anybody else around. And so that's a little, like, worrying. And I don't want his little heart to get broken because he's a baby. And then Stacy, I said in one of my other videos that I hope we got like some makeupless. Her makeup looked fine. She looked very well put together, but I was curious, and I think she's so pretty. I'm just saying, I like Stacy. She's funny. She seems self-assured. I like her. Oh my God. The couples are together on the beach, and JP is having more fun and talking more than he has in all the time he's been with Taylor, which must be registering. But I don't know. They're drinking margaritas. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. But, Izzy, who agreed not to be ridiculous behind Stacy's back, goes and pulls Lydia. And instead of it being a conversation, it's basically just him telling her why she was not who he chose. And she's like, yeah, cool. You can see her getting less and less interested in anything he has to say. And she's like, yeah, cool. It wasn't just you. I'm totally into Milton. And he's like, yeah, but there was a connection. There was a connection. I don't know what he thought was going to happen. I have a feeling he thought that she would see him and want him over Milton because he's the more attracted alpha male. But that's not what she did. And I am proud of her. I am like, yes, girl. Okay. So that was kind of funny. It was actually laughable. And I'm glad that we get this scene because I feel a little bit lighter after it. So we're still at the barbecue, beach party thing. But I had to comment on that because it was an interesting turn of events. I think that he will get that from Johnny. I think Johnny will get the, like, brokenhearted, I wanted you. Like, he's going to get that validation from her, but he did not get it from Lydia. She's like, bro, you are no Uche. So Taylor and JP just had a conversation at the beach thing. After she talked to Stacy, who was like, if you want it to work, you need to, like, dig in, make it work. The end, you know? And I don't know that that's what Stacy wanted to hear. I mean, that's Stacy's who said it. I don't know if that's what Taylor wanted to hear. I think she wanted to hear somebody say, like, girl power, don't stick through something you don't want to do, blah, blah, blah. Which, okay. But she's rattled by how well the other couples are doing. And what we find out in this conversation is that he has picked up on the shift. He is aware that something is off. He's just like, there's no way to fix it. She got here. She didn't want to be here. That has not changed. And I guess what's happening is something that happens to all of us is like I think he might see it as the writings on the wall and it's inevitable, but she may still kind of be like, hey, this can turn around. She keeps saying, I still have love for you. I am here and I'm trying to figure it out. Maybe we should talk about it over dinner. It feels a little bit like she wants him to get on board with calling it off. And he's not giving her that. As of this moment, he's like, I'm still here. You just keep fighting. Just keep moving forward. He does talk in a lot. He's like, all we have is now. The future is ahead of us. Just keep plugging. One day you'll be happy. Which none of that makes sense. Because you don't just push. If all you have is now, you want to be happy now. Because that's all you have. Or you push forward for a future where you're happy. But you don't like speak in. It's very odd. He like spit out a bunch of like those kind of things. And in the end, it's just awkward. And she is just like, I can't tell. Like, I could tell she was fishing for conversation. I also could tell early on that she wasn't feeling him. So possibly she's just trying to see. Maybe she really is like, how did I get here? How could love be so not blind? Right? Like, how did I mess this up so bad? And so she's fishing for the guy who she wants him to be. Like, to, like, get her past the fact that she's not attracted. But it's not happening. That's actually how we end episode 5. And I don't know, you guys. Like, I feel like this has not been funny. It has not been particularly exciting. It has been like watching a slow motion car crash with humans involved. I mean, obviously humans are usually involved in car crashes, but you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel good. And I'm like, I hope we get a light somewhere. I hope, against my better judgment, that Izzy doesn't disappoint me, because I like Stacy now. I hope, against my better judgment, that if they give us an Uche Aaliyah situation, she's able to get herself out of his grasp. And I hope, against my better judgment, that Lydia doesn't crush Milton. But I'm not sure about any of that, because I don't actually feel that hopeful. I don't know. And I feel like, what's wrong with me? Am I just a totally negative person? I don't think so. Last season, I got so excited. I was truly excited. And so maybe after we do this, we need to go back and do other seasons, because this feels heavy. This feels like there's no, is the word levity to like lift it up? It just feels heavy. I don't know, but, and I feel like I keep saying I don't know, and it's, what it is that I just don't see a way out that gives us any positive resolution